All right, Christian, we're good to go. And I want to thank everybody's time from ConnectWise, Christian and Bob and everybody. So thank you for your time and input too. So go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, Brian, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I've met a lot of, the tag guys already, but for those who do not know me, I'm Christian Stevens. I'm the Vice President of Service Delivery for ConnectWise Help Desk, for all of the help desk for our global team as well as the US. With me, I have Joe Muhich, which is the Director of our US Help Desk, and Mara, who is our Director of Partner Liaison with the Help Desk as well. And I'm sure everybody knows Bob. Bob's here as well. So, I really kind of want to make this as informal as possible, Brian, and I kind of want to do that because I'd like to get feedback from everybody as well. I kind of want to go through and let you guys know where the help desk has been and what we've been doing, and then kind of let everybody know where we're going, if that's fair. So just to go ahead and give you some background of kind of what we've accomplished in the last 6 months on the help desk is we actually changed our platform on the help desk. So we went from our previous CCAS system, which is our call center as a service system, is what you would call in on or what you would chat for calling. We were using something called BroadSoft, and for chat we were using LogMeIn. The problem with that, and a lot of you know, and what we had is that they're two separate systems. So we weren't able to get on both of them at the same time. You were either a chat agent or you were a phone agent. And for us to pivot, it would take about 10 to 15 minutes if we had to, get more chat agents over to phone and vice versa, get more phone agents logged into chat, depending on where the volume was coming in from. We decided to go with a company called Five Nines for our CCAS, and that was implemented on the phone back in January. And what this gives us is not only just the phone and chat as one solid platform, we can now be able to log into chat and phone at the same time. So there's not any more lag or any time wasted on pivoting. So volumes coming in from, more volumes coming in from the chat side, we're able to take on the chat. If it's coming in on the phone side, we're able to pivot very quickly and go to the phones. What this also gives us is a lot more functionality than what we had before. It gives us a reporting mechanism that we're now going to be able to deliver reports to all of our partners on all KPIs, all standard KPIs that we do. So you guys, depending on what what you would want in your business, we'll probably start out with a monthly. But if something, if you need something on a weekly basis, we can certainly talk about that. If you need something on a quarterly basis, we can certainly do that. But these will come out automatically to everybody. It's something that we haven't been able, we've been able to kind of ad hoc in the past, but this is something that we're going to be able to do month in and month out, is deliver solid reporting to everybody. What the reporting looks like, and I can, Brian, I'll have a demo, or not a demo, but a dashboard that I'll send out to you that you can send out to your team as well. We're still kind of working on the look of it, but basically what it's going to entail is it'll have, how many tickets each one of your sites, brought in, exactly, why your sites are calling or why your end users are calling, how many tickets from the chat side and also from the phone side, the service level, how long it took us to answer the phone, things like that. So a lot of good information that we haven't been able to deliver before, we're now going to be able to deliver with that system. The other thing that system gives us is voice analytics. So we're going to be able to capture all the voice that comes in, the voice and chat, and be able to look for keyword. So, for us to be able to see exactly why your customers are calling is going to be very key. And that information can also be given out to the partners as well. So if it's a documentation issue, if you have a particular site that calls in for the same thing over and over again, those will be easy things to kind of capture, get back to your site. Maybe there's maybe it's just a printer problem or a certain printer. You'll be able to see things pretty easily using this voice analytics. On top of that, it's going to help us as a group and as a team better educate our technicians and be able to help them better serve your end users. Any questions about the CCAS while I have everybody? I know I just said a whole lot in a very short amount of time.
Christian, we had a question about timing of when the ETA on the reporting would be.
So we're trying to deliver the first reports by the end of July. That is, we think we'll have it done earlier, but we really want to get, we want to make it a standard report. We want to make it look pretty enough to where when you guys get it, you'll be able to look at it and understand it very easily.
Will there be a self-service portal, or is that something we have to request or get scheduled?
You know what, Scott, there's not a self-service yet. It's not out of the question. What we are trying to do, we are trying to, our end goal here is to make it, a self-service portal. But right now it'll be just on the delivery method, Scott.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, our end goal would be to get it into Bright Gauge as quickly as possible and have everybody who has Bright Gauge be able to pull it up very easily. But that's something that's definitely on the roadmap. So, Bright Gauge would make it very easy for a self-service.
Hey, Christian, this is Ken from Advent, but is there ability to record calls, listen to calls?
So yeah, so all of our calls, that's a good point. So the calls that are coming in now, we had the ability to record in the past. What we now have the ability to do is that we're going to not only record the voice, but we're also recording, we have screen capture. So we're going to be able to look at the technician as they go through our tools to be able to help them out. So yeah, there is, everything is voice recorded and everything is screen captured together.
Is that for your internal, or could someone like us listen to it live, one of our calls being handled?
I don't know why if it's your customer, there's no reason why you can't. And I'm sure Joe and I could we could definitely figure out a way to do it. You're also able to, if you reached out to me and said, hey, listen, I got this guy who swears up and down that you guys made a huge mistake. First of all, what we do anyways, we pull the call and we pull the screen capture and we would look at it for quality, but there's no reason that we couldn't send it out to you as well.
Yeah, not trying to be big brother, but
yeah, no worries.
Are our call center, so okay.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Okay. Some of the other things that we've done so far, and I'll kind of go through these briefly, is we've started to hire on a national level instead of just hiring in Cranberry and Pittsburgh. Everybody who's been with us for a while knows that, our main hub is in Cranberry, which is right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What we've done is that we went out and started looking around the country for talent. And that's exactly what it is. I think, before we were looking in a very finite space. Now we have the ability, obviously, with the work from home and the pandemic kind of helped us out there a little bit, but we're actually hiring people from all over the country now. So it's helping us out to be able to handle the calls on the West Coast a little easier than we were before, because the schedules obviously differ, but just the talent itself, to be able to go out and go into huge markets like Houston, and Raleigh, North Carolina, and Tampa, Florida, and to be able to hire the better talent out of there has been extremely helpful for us. We've also now just gotten our site established. For those of you who use our offshore site in the Philippines, we have now moved our current site from Manila to about 50 miles north of Manila to a place called Clark. It's where the old Clark Air Force Base used to be for the US. That space is now a tech hub, and it is all ConnectWise employees. So that's very, very exciting for us for a couple different reasons. Manila is so saturated with the BPO and tech support space that what we were finding is that it was just basically a circle. People, we could find it very difficult sometimes to keep good people, because what happens is that we would be on the second floor, somebody on the fourth floor would hire them, and then they would go to the sixth floor and then the eighth floor, and literally it was just a roundabout. So we moved our operations up to Clark, somewhere that I've been working now for the last 22 years. So I'm very familiar with the area. I'm very familiar with the network. We've hired our first 12 people. So I'm extremely excited to get started there. For those who are not using any offshore, I'm certainly excited, Brian, to meet with anybody to let them understand exactly the talent that we're getting out of there, and the English that goes along with that. I think a lot of people would be very surprised, especially up in Clark, where a lot of the tech sector is now really headed out of Manila. So that's one thing that I've been working on for the last year, and it's finally come to fruition. And we have our first class that just started 3 weeks ago, so we're extremely happy about that. Some of the other things that are in progress that we're working on is we're looking at bilingual support. We're trying to get our first bilingual support by Q4. Spanish is what we're going to tackle first. I'm working with Joe and the team to figure out basically the backside of it before, the hiring of the Spanish speakers are the easy part. It's really the tools on the backside and understanding, do we give notes in Spanish back to the partner? Do we not? Do we translate it before it gets back to the partner? Some of those things have to be worked out. But I think we've been asked by a lot of partners about Spanish in particular. So we're going to, we're shooting for that for Q4. Anybody have any questions about language? I think language is kind of a big deal for us and kind of a game changer for us as well. Anybody have any need for Spanish or could have need for Spanish?
Yeah, this is Mike from Comtech Systems. I think we probably do have a need for it. It's not an immediate need, but it would be helpful. I guess my question was going to be, how do you imagine determining what approach you'll take to the translation? Would it maybe be a focus group of a couple partners or something of that nature?
Yeah, Joe, you want to take that? Because I mean, Joe has really been working closely with the languages. Joe, are you on?
I'm happy to answer that. And I'd already taken myself off mute. So what I think we'd like to do is actually hire some bilingual individuals. So we're not necessarily going to translate. The support will be in the local language. Now, some of the challenges that we're facing and why we can't just go hire 12 Spanish speakers tomorrow is that a lot of our systems send automated messages. When you close a ticket, we send a message that says, your ticket's been closed. If you need anything else, let us know. That is going to have to be translated into Spanish or whatever local language we support. And we'll have to be able to note that the ticket was in Spanish and then send the appropriate automated messages in that local language. So that's the actual delivering of the support is relatively easy compared to the back end system modifications that we have to do, because we want this to be a great customer experience. We don't want the end user to have to translate messages on their own, be it email messages or anything that's sent from our systems. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does, and I know that's going to be a challenge to deal with. So, we would just, I guess the point being, if there is an opportunity to do that, we would probably look to try that out, or if we can help in any other way as a partner, let us know.
That's fantastic. We're certainly going to be soliciting partners to be part of the pilot. So I'm thrilled to hear that you'd like to be part of that. That's wonderful.
The other thing too is chat's a little bit easier, and chat, there's some really good companies out there that do really good AI and really good translations in chat. So that's another thing that we're looking at for those people that are in chat. And with chat, not just Spanish, I mean, we can literally, run the gamut of languages. So that's kind of, exciting for us when we're talking about EMEA, when we're talking about APAC, and, even some of the US languages to be able to do, some of the, whether it be in Chinese or Portuguese or whatever languages that are very, prevalent in the United States. That's another thing that we're looking at as well. So language is definitely a focus for us and something that we're going to look for in the short future. One of the other things that is on our roadmap is that we're looking to do, dive into some of the self-service Autobots on the chat side for partners. And we're going to try to release at the end of Q3 what we call a visual IVR. And what that's going to do is going to help a few things. The first thing that we want to launch is for the partners, and for any updates that partners need for ticketing, for status updates, for escalations, anything like that can simply be put through into a chat, and the chat bot at that point will take over. It'll be resourceless, which means it'll be done quickly and consistently. So that's a very high priority for us. Five9 gives us that capability to do that. And down the line, further from just partners, we're looking to do it for internal text for knowledge, to be able to get knowledge very quickly through some of the chat bots. Again, this is all about keeping your customer, on the phone as least amount of time as possible, and answering the calls and the chats as quickly as we possibly can. So any automation, any tools that we can get our hands on is really what we're looking, to kind of do this year. So that's some of the exciting stuff that we have in the help desk. Joe, anything that I missed? And I talked about partner, or the reporting already, and the language. Anything that you can think of that I missed as far as what the roadmap looks like this year?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. These initiatives are keeping us all busy. I've actually been very involved with all of the initiatives. Christian and I are working together, and as with the rest of the team. So I can't think of anything else that you may have missed. There's the other component to a lot of these changes is some of them do impact the customer experience, and we don't want to put everything out at once for fear that we're making too many changes and it's disruptive to your customers. So incremental changes we think is important to just for continuity of the experience.
And two guys, so some of the things that we're looking at for 2022, and not to get too ahead of ourselves, but some of the things that we're working on currently is offering some type of chat only service, that would just use chat. Right now, to be transparent, I mean, our chat and phones are almost 50-50 volume wise. So 50% of our customers are using the phone and 50% are using chat. When I started 2 years ago, it was about 70% phone, 30% chat. So a lot more of the customers are getting into the chat. They're finding it more convenient, being able to solve it that way. So at some point, we're looking to do possibly a chat only, which obviously cuts the price. And then also we're still working on a per ticket pricing. We're trying to figure that one out, and that one's been a conundrum that we've been working on for quite a while, and it's still. We're still looking for the right time to release and the right product, but that's something that, in 2022, that's going to be on the top of our list to do. So, Brian, that's really kind of the roadmap and some of the things that we've done. I'd really like to hear, any and everything, whether it be about the roadmap or things that we've done, just anything, any pain points or anything that's working or any pain points that TAG has or any of the TAG partners may have. You have the team here. We'll certainly want to listen to you guys, and we certainly want to make it better.
Yeah, no,
this-
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, this is Mike again.
ahead.
So I think the most common problem that we have is with probably help desk technicians just either missing or not taking the time to look up documentation. We use IT Glue in particular. And you know, it happens sometimes. Sometimes our documentation is not good. But when we run into something like that, what is the best way to work with somebody and kind of get that resolved? You know, let's say it happens for a particular customer or whatever the situation might be.
Let me grab this one, Christian. So are you, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you asking about how you would handle it live or after the fact, or both?
After the fact. I mean, live, the technician will typically call us and we'll say, hey, remember this?
Yep.
And that gets fixed at the time. But, you know, I'm really looking more to have somebody have a conversation with somebody to say, let me look at it with you. Oh, the way you guys wrote this is really confusing. Or, oh, we can't see that for some reason. Just, you know, something in that capacity to get to the bottom of why they're not seeing it or why they're not using it. And the answer may be, sorry, our guys just didn't do it right that day, you know, but whoever to have that conversation with.
Right. So my suggestion would be to contact the partner care group. And what happens when you do that is that partner care sends a request to the quality analysis team. Quality analysis team will take a look at the ticket and take a look at the notes, take a look at your notes and say, you know what, the technician made a mistake. When that technician makes a mistake, it goes to that technician's manager. And we have a conversation based on every single quality report that that we have. If it's found from the QA analysis that your documentation might be missing something or isn't clear, or maybe there's some contradictory information, one of the help desk service team members will get a hold of you and sit down and talk with you about it and say, you know, if you would change the documentation to make it read like this, we could probably avoid that escalation. We track on a monthly basis escalations based on documentation is a category. We escalated because there wasn't clear documentation, or we escalated for technical reasons. It was out of scope, or we escalated because a partner requested that we escalate. Those are the three big buckets. Now there's smaller buckets within those three categories. So we take escalations very seriously. And, you know, we take them seriously because it takes time for the customer. So again, it impacts the customer experience. It takes time away from what you are doing. And then third, and probably least important to you, and although important to us, is it takes time for us too. Oftentimes it's just easier and less time consuming for us to solve the issue. So escalations are crucial to our operation, and reducing them is crucial to our operations, I should say. So to answer your question, when you think that there's something that was escalated that shouldn't have been, send a message to partner care. They should be your single point of contact for all concerns, and then they will distribute it to the proper team, and the ball starts rolling from there.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions or feedback, comments? This is again an opportunity for ConnectWise to hear your suggestions, recommendations, all the above. Eddie? No.
No, I did not say anything.
One last call. You guys are doing fantastic, Christian.
I'd love to believe that, but I don't, it's, again, it's a partnership, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that this is not a, the feedback that we get, what happens with that is Joe and I go back and we fix it. We try to get better. And, this is a big part of what you guys do and a big part of your business. And we understand that, especially a lot of you do, white label, which makes us an extension of your business. And, for us to be able to do that and have an opportunity to, help your customers is huge to us. So any feedback that you have, whether it's not on this call or after this call, or, Brian has all my information, please send it in. I'll be more than happy to call you guys individually and we can talk through it. Tag's extremely important to us. For me personally as well, it was one of the first accounts when I first came into ConnectWise that I got to be a part of. So, for me, it goes back to the first couple of days of my start with ConnectWise, but overall, it's a huge importance to us. And we want to make sure that you guys are extremely happy with the service, period.
Yeah, no, and likewise, our partnership dates back to the inception from day one with Continuum back in 2011 when the company was founded and acquired through the assets of Zenith Infotech back in the day. And it's been a fantastic growing partnership with our members. It compounds consistently, and it's been a great relationship over these years. And obviously, this is an opportunity, as always, to provide feedback. And as Christian said, I will send out the recording along with Christian's information as well. Let's see, Eddie, I think Eddie just sent out a chat. Eddie sent out a chat. Is there a way to get automated help desk ticket reports like your back-end reports? Did that just pop in? It looked like that just popped in.
Yeah, I just dropped that in there.
Okay.
So Eddie, when you say back-end reports, we're going to start reporting at the end of July a lot of our KPIs that will include ticket information. Are you talking about the individual ticket information or?
More to the point, a while back when we were having some considerable help desk challenges, they had some reports that they were able to generate for us that were not just the Excel sheets we can currently get out of the Continuum portal, but some actual nice sheets that showed us escalation, showed us time to respond to tickets. They were back-end reports that we couldn't get, but they were giving us because of some of the challenges we were facing at that time. And I've got customers asking for those kinds of reports all the time. And I was just wondering if there's any way to get some of that stuff set up so we can start getting them.
Yeah, absolutely, Eddie. In fact, by the end of July, we're going to be able to send out reporting to all partners. So with our new platform, it gives us the opportunity to be able to report cleanly on all of our KPIs, which means escalations, service levels, number of tickets, the reason that your customers are calling in, things like that. So we're going to send those out on a monthly basis starting at the end of July. If you need those, more frequently, we can certainly do that. We would just need that request from you.
Yeah, monthly would be phenomenal.
Okay. Perfect. And again, guys, I think this is going to be a huge value add, and I hate the fact that we haven't had this in the past. And one of the reasons that we spent, in excess of $600,000 on this new CCAS was literally to give us this opportunity to be able to do these value adds, and not only internally but externally for the partners. I think it's going to be a huge deal, and I think. Eddie, like you said, I think your customers are really going to appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it'll make our lives a lot easier too.
That's what it's about.
Any other comments? We still have time if anybody has anything.
Gene, I don't know if you heard me. It's the end of July.
That was for Gene?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be nice if my mouse reacted faster.
That's okay. Don't worry.
slow reactions here on my technology. I'm technology challenged here. Yeah, I got that. And that is that is very to the point, because we just had a meeting today with a moderately disgruntled customer, and one of their issues was reporting. They want to know, what did the tech do to fix the problem? And I'm thinking maybe this kind of reporting would give us more information than we've had before. So
It will definitely do that, Gene.
you came in timely, because we just had that meeting a few hours ago. So
Well, I just apologize that we haven't had it before. It's one of the things that again, we were just, using the software and the CCAS that we had before. There was just so many limitations. Therefore, it was something that Continuum was working on. And, once we got working on it and almost closed it out, we got, gobbled up by ConnectWise, and then it just pushed it out a little further. So we're here now, and we're getting ready to deliver it. So we're just as excited as you are.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other comments, questions, suggestions? Okay, well, again, I want to thank Christian and the ConnectWise team today. Greatly appreciated. It's obviously the help desk is a huge integral component of all of our success in our relationship with ConnectWise. It's been a phenomenal one over the years, as I mentioned. As always, if you need anything, Christian is available, Bob's available, Maura, Joe, everybody on their team is available for you. Again, you also have Jonathan Blakey here. Jonathan Blakey at TAG, who's our VP of Technology, has had an extraordinary background in building a help desk and NOC at a very large scale. And to have him internally to support and assist our members in their interactions with ConnectWise is huge. So please use Jonathan as a resource as well in growing your IT business. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for your time. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to everybody soon.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thanks everybody for your time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.